A very nasty and vicious squirrel has sent 2 Californians to the hospital. The United States government is not allowing Iran's diplomats to shop at Costco without permission, and a local coffee truck has been banned from visiting a hospital. But why? These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. I'm your host, Jonesy. You are the best.
Hey, baby, I like the weird news. I like that weird news. I like the weird news.
A squirrel has attacked some residents in a California town, sending at least 2 people to the emergency room. How about that? A California squirrel has gone completely nuts. Good joke, whoever wrote this. Oh, the squirrel's gone nuts. And neighbors in the town are on alert for this squirrel. What's wrong with it? Does it have rabies? I've heard it's not very common for squirrels to have rabies. Maybe the squirrel has just a personal grudge against some of the locals. Maybe it's a meth squirrel, right? There's got to be a meth squirrel somewhere out there. There's meth gators, as I've covered. Cocaine bears exist, so I'm sure there's a meth squirrel out there somewhere just fiending, taking it out on the humans that are in the vicinity. Let's get the details. This is in a town called San Rafael, and the residents in this town are reporting a series of attacks from a vicious brown squirrel that sent at least 2 people to the emergency room, according to the local Humane Society. Oh, crikey, this squirrel's doing some damage. That's no ordinary squirrel. That squirrel has a vicious mean streak a mile wide. I'll come off it. What does he do, nibble your bum?
No, that's the most foul, cruel, and bad-tempered rodent you've ever set your eyes on. Look at the bones.
All right, enough cosplaying Monty Python. Let's get into the details. Looks like there's a reason for all of this. The result of these attacks by the squirrel may be because of public feeding, they're saying. What, you mean they've been being nice and supporting the squirrel and it's still attacking people? That doesn't make sense to me. Then again, I'm not a squirrel detective. I've fed squirrels in my last apartment on the balcony often. They never attacked me. I'm sure they had meetings about it, but they never actualized an attack. Contrary. They actually were, despite me feeding them for a long time, they were still not quite comfortable with me, a little frightened of me. The squirrel's got something else going on, I think. It's probably personal. Here's a quote from someone named Lisa who works for the Marin Humane Society. We've received reports, at least 2 reports of individuals being attacked by a squirrel in a neighborhood of San Rafael. This behavior is unusual for squirrels. It's likely the result of someone feeding it. When wildlife are fed by humans, they can lose their natural fear and act more emboldened, is what happens. This is why we remind people all the time, feeding the wildlife. You think it's a good idea, but it has negative consequences for both people and the animals. So don't feed the wildlife. We keep telling people don't feed the wildlife, but people want to feed the wildlife. They want to get up close. They want to get a selfie with the wildlife. I understand selfies with wildlife are very popular these days. You want to get a little TikTok with you and a gopher, but you just can't feed these things. So just be careful. You might end up hospitalized by a little squirrel scratch, and I don't think you want that in your life. This quote's going way too long. I better shut up. All right, now we got a first-hand account of one of the victims. Oh, let's learn a little bit about what went down. Joan was enjoying a peaceful walk through Lucas Valley in San Rafael. Beautiful place to go and feed the squirrels. When it says she was enjoying a peaceful walk when the rodent launched itself at Joan and proceeded to claw and bite her. Just for no reason, just launched itself. My goodness.
With those big nasty teeth.
Poor Joan, she'll never be the same. There's a quote from Joan. She says, "Oh, it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. I didn't see it. I didn't see the squirrel running up. It ran up to me. I didn't see it at all. It clamped onto my leg. The tail was flying up here, and I was like, get it off me. Get it off me. I didn't want to touch it. But it was on me." Oh my, it sounds like Joan is extremely traumatized from this incident. She's got PTSAS, post-traumatic squirrel attack syndrome. Is that a thing? We're making things up. That's what's fun about Weird AF News. You can make things up. It's a fantasy land. Now, poor Joan, her injuries were so severe, they say, that she had to go to the ER to seek treatments. The neighbors are very aggrieved, and they've passed out some flyers. Flyers have been plastered around the entire area. There's a photo of a squirrel, and then it says, "This is not a joke. More than 5 people have been attacked by a very mean squirrel over the past 5 days. Please be on alert." Yeah, I mean, maybe carry a tennis racket so in case it launches itself at you, you can just punk, send it back over the net. Oh, looks like we got another victim in this story, Isabel Campoy. She was a victim of the vicious squirrel. She was actually hospitalized, poor Isabel, from her wounds after coming into contact with this deadly rodent on a walk. Here's a quote from Isabel. "Oh my, the squirrel went from the floor and tried to jump on my face. I tried to protect my lovely face. My arm was completely overcome by the squirrel. It overcame my arm. Finally, it leaped off my body, but by then I was just full of blood, full of it. There was just blood everywhere. Have you seen the movie Carrie? That's what I looked like from this vicious squirrel. I had to, of course, run to the emergency room, and I did. I ran. I didn't call an ambulance, I'm not a wuss. I just run to emergency rooms. I'm a real badass. But I am a little bit scared of squirrels." Now, the article wraps up by, again, repeating, according to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Agency, you should never feed wild animals. It's very destructive, yada, yada, yada. They also say there have been no reported cases of rabies transmission from squirrels to humans ever in the United States, as they do not spread rabies. Okay, so that's a myth. But that's not going to stop a little squirrel from nibbling your bum, so be careful out there. Be careful out there. The United States bans Iran's diplomats from shopping at Costco without special permissions. Nice to know my government is cracking down on the important issues, taking hard stances. I mean, it's making me feel safe. I don't know about you. I don't want people from Iran having access to cases of Capri Sun and 6-packs of Jergens hand cream. I mean, this could be the downfall of our civilization if they get their hands on these tasty goods. What about that rotisserie chicken, man? Come on. Does anybody know when this bizarro timeline is going to end? Because I'm just getting a little tired of it. Let's jump into the story, though. I'm sure there's a good reason why diplomats can't shop at Costco, right? The Trump administration has barred Iranian diplomats based in or visiting New York from shopping at wholesale club stores such as Costco. Oh, so it's all wholesale club stores. They can't go to Sam's, Costco, or BJ's. And just in New York? Okay. I mean, it's not like they can just drive to Jersey and go to a Costco or something. I mean, that's crazy, right? What are we doing? Here's a statement from the Department of Wastefulness. We will not allow the Iranian regime to allow its clerical elites to have a shopping spree in New York while the Iranian people endure poverty, crumbling infrastructure, and dire shortages of water and electricity. Oh, they're pretending like they care about people suffering in other poor nations. I get it. That's pretty good PR. I mean, we all know it's not true, but, they're trying to create an image. But, of course, I mean, that's all out the window when they decide they want to bomb them, of course. I'm actually very surprised that is the reason they're giving. I thought it was something completely different and had nothing to do with caring or empathizing with anybody. I thought it'd be like, maybe Costco's selling 10 packs of secret nuclear launch codes or something. But nope. Instead, they just want to make sure they're not purchasing watches, furs, jewelry, handbags, wallets, perfumes, tobacco, alcohol, and cars without U.S. government approval, it says. Strangely, though, the only country that's being targeted with this is Iran. The article says that stores like Costco have been a favorite of Iranian diplomats visiting New York because they're able to buy large quantities of products not available in their economically isolated country for relatively cheap prices and then send them home. Here's another quote from the State Department. It says, by preventing Iranian regime officials from exploiting diplomatic travel to the UN as a means to obtain goods unavailable to the Iranian citizens, we're sending a clear message. When the U.S. says it stands with the people of Iran, we mean it. Come on, this is a joke, right? I mean, are we supposed to buy this? I just heard the president's just railing on and on about it. Iran better not have a nuclear warhead. We got to do everything in our power to prevent Iran from having a nuclear warhead. But also they're saying, in the wrong hands, $1.50 hot dog could cause global havoc. So we can't have that as well. Does any of this make sense anymore? I don't even know why I try to make sense of anything my country's administration is doing at the moment. None of it seems to make any sort of sense. Do I need to keep reading this? I mean, are we interested in the details? Because they get really detailed. It's luxury items valued at more than $1,000, vehicles valued at more than $60,000. This is what they have to get permission to purchase. Items defined as luxury goods include watches, leather apparel, clothing accessories, silk apparel, clothing accessories, footwear, fur skins, artificial furs, handbags, wallets, fountain pens, cosmetics, perfumes, toilet waters. Toilet waters? I didn't know that toilet water was considered a luxury good. Oh, I got all the toilet water you need around. Come over here. I'll give you a deal. Works of art, antiques, carpets, rugs, tapestries. Tapestries? Who buys tapestries anymore? What are we, living in a Parisian castle? Anyone buy tapestries? Come and look at my tapestries. Oh, I got you a tapestry for your birthday. What else? Pearls, gems, precious and semi-precious stones or jewelry containing them, precious metals, electronics, appliances, recreational sports articles, musical instruments, cigarettes and cigars, wine, spirits, and beer. Funny, it doesn't mention gold bars. Costco's been selling those gold bars, and they've been selling like hotcakes. Might want to add that to your list because, it's a bad look when Iranian diplomats are going back to their country and showing off those gold bars to the plebeians. All right, so I guess at the end of the day, if you're an Iranian diplomat, so sorry, you can't go buy a fur coat at Costco in New York. You'll have to drive to Pennsylvania to get your luxury items, your appliances, and whatnot. If you're Mexican, you can still hang out in the Costco parking lot, but just, keep your head on a swivel because, ice.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
A local coffee truck has been banned from a hospital because of its name. Not the weirdest story, but it is a little light on the weird news today. And this is about coffee, so it really caught my eye. I decided to read it, and it actually is a little strange. There's a food truck that's been banned from serving a hospital in Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, you're probably wondering what crazy, outlandish, offensive name was on the side of this coffee truck. Well, it's called the Graveyard Shift Coffee. So, you wouldn't think that would be that offensive. Graveyard Shift Coffee? They're serving a hospital. It's very common for people to work the graveyard shift at a hospital. It's one of the only places where you still hear that term. Oh, you work in the graveyard shift? Is hospitals. And let me tell you something. If I'm working the graveyard shift at a hospital, I'm going to need as much caffeine as possible. I'm going to need the graveyard shift coffee to be outside that door. And I'm going to hit that truck up 3-4 times a night, probably. I'd be grateful for the graveyard shift coffee truck. I have a suspicious feeling that it's not the employees that are offended by this coffee truck. It's other people. It says the graveyard shift coffee is designed to serve hospital night shift workers at this hospital in Arizona. The logo is a smiling skeleton dressed in green scrubs with a stethoscope around its bony neck. All right, taking a little risk with the logo. All right, it's a skeleton. You're at a hospital. People probably die all the time at the hospital. Now, here's where it gets a little contentious. The menu items people have found offensive, apparently. Some of these drink names include the Bloody Eye, which is made with chocolate and strawberry, the Formaldehyde, which has lavender and honey, and something called Murder Spice, which comes with honey and cinnamon. Now, the owners of the Graveyard Shift Coffee posted on their social media this week, quote, "Unfortunately, due to our logo and our name, we are no longer allowed to serve coffee at the Mayo Hospital, effective immediately." Now, the post got 1,600 likes and hundreds of comments. Some people were standing up for the truck. One nurse responded by saying, "Hey, how about you guys park across the street? Us nurses will still show up to support you." Someone wrote a sarcastic comment saying, "Well, that's completely fair, actually, because before you guys started coming, many people there had no idea that skeletons in graveyards even existed." And then another hospital employee wrote, "Night shift can't have anything nice." I mean, you got to support night shift, man. I mean, imagine working night shift in a hospital. That's just difficult. It's like, and I'll bet you they didn't even ask the staff if this is what they wanted. It was some offended Karen. All it takes is one complaint by some stupid idiot whose comfort level has been reduced by just a bit. They're offended by something they saw, and that they don't even think about other people and what other people's comfort levels are. They don't care about that because it's only their comfort level that matters, and so it's got to go away. If it offends them, it's got to go away. Honestly, I can't stand people like this. And this is a reason why we're losing a lot of the fun in our culture. It's because of self-centered psychopaths like this. And in addition to just being unable to look beyond your own self, right, because you're selfish, they suffer from what I would call failure of perspective in life. It's like, of all the things that are happening in the world right now to give you agita, as the Italians say, this is what you're spending your energy on. I mean, that is just another entire level of just ignorance that you can add on to this situation. And then at the end of the day, you're taking away a treat for all those girls working the night shift that need this. Yeah, awful. I really wish the rapture would have just taken people like this yesterday. I mean, why couldn't that have happened? Or Tuesday, whenever the rapture was supposed to be. I hope the Graveyard Shift Coffee parks across the street and continues their business, but maybe they want to change their name and try again at the hospital. And so I used AI to come up with some really good, what I think are pretty good names for a coffee truck that serves a medical facility. So here are the names that the AI came up with. Tell me if you enjoy these. Daily Drip, that's pretty good. Code Brew, The Java Clinic, First Aid Fuel, Stat Coffee, Vital Signs Brew, and Thirst Aid Station. So those are my suggestions for Graveyard Coffee. I don't know if they're listening, but I'll send them this episode. And maybe I'll go to their website, buy a pound. I'm sure they brew some good stuff, and they have a sense of humor, so I like them. I wish they'd stick to their guns, but I like them nonetheless.
This episode is brought to you by Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels and music are made for each other. They share a rhythm in the craft of making something timeless, while being a part of legendary nights. From backyard jams to sold-out arenas, there's a song in every toast. Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Hello, my friends, you beautiful people, you weirdos. I so appreciate you spending some time with me in the podcast today. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who sent me articles as well. You can email me stuff to funnyjones@gmail.com anytime. Also, my Instagram is @funnyjones if you want to slide into my DMs. I got some shows coming up. Tomorrow I'm in downtown LA and then Hollywood. And then Saturday I'm in Palm Springs at the Rock Gallery. All that information is on my Instagram, by the way. So if you're in the Palm Springs area or Joshua Tree, out in the desert, if you're a desert person, please come over to the Rock Gallery on Saturday night. That's the 27th. The show's at 8 o'clock. The information's on my Instagram @funnyjones and on my Facebook as well. It's pretty much everywhere. So if you want to come and see me do some stand-up, I would appreciate it. And it would be good to meet some weirdos as well. I always enjoy that. If you guys want to support the show, the website is weirdafnews.com. Weirdafnews.com is where you want to go. You can buy me coffee or join the Patreon. That's a cool thing to do. Tomorrow is Friday, as you know, and so I'll only be doing weird news from Florida because that's the protocol. That's the schedule that we have on Weird AF News that I have, not we, I have on Weird AF News. I do only weird news from Florida every Friday. It's called Florida Friday. Many of you know, some of you might not. So if you happen to come across some weird Florida news from this week, please send it on over to me so I can have some good content tomorrow for the Florida Friday episode. Try and do the best I can. Okay, I won't keep you any longer. Have a nice day.